Let's go. Somehow my life turned out to be more than I thought I deserved. Oh, living a life of luxury. Oh, there's a few bridges I've had to burn. So the words that my father told me said you gotta believe, keep God first, and you'll go far. So don't forget where you came from, and let the whole world know your name, son. You can have anything, chase your dreams, and don't forget that. Whoa.
There's the mental growth, there's the emotional growth, mental and emotional growth, and then there's spiritual growth that has to take place as well. And so I believe that many of us haven't been really taught the steps in growth, how we should grow. And one of the things that stops people from growing emotionally is when they go through hurt. Mm-hmm. And you got to learn that you can tell when people get hurt is that it's like they use a whole other set of skills that nobody really understands. And I know Maria in her home, when she talks to her kids, she talks to them with an endearment, and she teaches them to say thank you. And even as an adult, she says thank you. And you know, that just opens up the line for communication. When you find people that seem like they're grateful, you want to talk to them. And I imagine with your kids, you have the time when they don't want to talk, they would rather stick out their lips than talk. And is there some advice we can give mothers for the kids when they, because as daddies don't like for kids to stick out their lip when they talk. Y'all know how y'all out there. Y'all get an attitude and you stick your lip out. Now both of you got the lip stuck out, and we ain't communicating. But I'm sure that with your children, and you do foster care as well. Yes. And that's very, you know what, I'd rather pastor than do foster care.
And you establish yourself as an individual in a relationship. You talked about the substratum in the recent shows, and I think that's the first basis of who we establish a relationship, because you can't develop a relationship with anybody else without yourself. Right. And so you have to really develop yourself healthy, and then you'll find yourself learning how to develop other healthy relationships with other people. And going back to, again, we're talking about how the family genre develops. There's two genres that the family has to develop as. The family has to develop as an individual unit, and has to develop as a core,
I'm sure that people experience that, and mothers who are going through divorce are experiencing very tough communication things. Because I tell people this all the time, and they don't believe me, Maria. I tell people that whenever a couple divorces, at least one of those children, if you have at least 2 or 3 children in that marriage, one of them is going to blame one of those parents. That's right. Or more, for that relationship breaking up. And I've seen kids act out all because the relationship seems to be falling apart. And because the relationship has fallen apart and there's divorce, that child may blame mother. Okay, mother goes for 2 years and she starts dating someone and she gets married again. And all of a sudden, I had one lady tell me, I don't understand why my son doesn't appreciate the man I now have in my life. I said, that ain't his daddy.
That's right. That's right.
Well, he provides for him and he does it, but that ain't his daddy.
Absolutely. That's right.
His daddy drive trucks. He want to drive trucks.
Yes.
But she don't want him to drive trucks. This man provides food for, but that ain't his daddy.
Absolutely.
And why don't he have a relationship with his dad if he want it?
That's right.
Now this young man is going to process. He's going to marry some woman, and he's going to be the father of somebody's baby. And now you got issues that are carried on from that generation on. Absolutely. All because, see, divorce may not be your choice. And I'm going to talk about that in a couple of segments. It may not be your choice, but when a divorce happens, you have to be civil and communicate and understand it ain't about you no more. The marriage is over. You don't even have anything to be mad about anymore. I understand what people are saying. If you listen, you pick up that telephone and call us at 972-988-1040. Because while you're going through the divorce, it's going to be bitter. And if you're not careful, y'all going to pull one end of those children to the other, from foot to head. And Solomon said, okay, now, both of y'all said the child is yours. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the baby and split it in half. And the real mother said, no, just give it to the mother that says she's the mama. Because I'd rather have her to have it than for you to hurt it. That's you can't hurt children in the divorce and still be a loving parent. So the divorce is not the kid's fault. And I see people walking around looking at the child because they look so much like the dad. I don't like you. You look like your daddy. Yeah. And you're processing. To be a parent is not laying down in the bed and getting a child. To be a parent means to love that child unconditionally and love and not expect anything from that child, but you owe that child your love. You owe that child your passion. You owe that child a future, a foundation.
Yes.
Most young black men can't get nowhere because they don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Most black men die and don't leave their children nothing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely.
The only reason they were leaving something, they were leaving airline.
Yeah.
And then that ain't up but something for everybody to fight over, because you can't sell it unless everybody say sell it.
Yeah.
You can't make no money unless everybody gets some of it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but how about sectioning it off? Let me have mine. Let me have a half acre from my house. Don't give me 10 acres of air land and we all got the degree. I ain't like you when I was growing up when you was my sister. You follow what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff happens along those lines that need to be changed. But I think that many things that can come. Divorces can stop you from growing. It can stop mothers from growing. It can stop children from growing. Whenever the separation takes place, then people are hurt. They stop growing emotionally. Let's talk about emotional growth. Emotional growth. Emotional growth is directly proportionate to your ability to receive. Your ability. Let me turn it backwards as well. Your ability to receive, or to hear, or to be taught, or to take in, is directly proportionate to your ability for growth. So when you find folk that you can't tell them nothing, you can't explain them nothing, you can't pour any level of knowledge or wisdom into them, these are people that are not growing. But let me tell you the people that grow. The people that suck up everything you say like a sponge and take it and run it. They know how to run it through their head like a computer, defrag it. I don't need that, that's junk. Pick up the rest of it, and they go about their business. I know a young lady at KGGR. She does the same thing. She grows all the time. Everybody she run into, she pick up the goods, spit out the bag, keep right on going. She's growing. She ain't unhealthy. She's standing around looking at me and like, oh, look at him. He must be a dog. You don't know. Maybe you got a little dog in you.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? But she's looking at everybody the way she wants to be looked at. And the Bible said, too, the pure, all things are pure.
Yeah.
So if you run around and you suspect, maybe you is a suspect.
Yeah.
That's the Bible. So I think that our ability to receive and to embrace the truth and learning, lifelong learning, is part of life skills. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
That people lifelong. Why people think when they get grown they gotta stop learning? You still got a brain.
That's right.
You still got the ability to learn, and men do the same thing. After they get married, they do all this learning about how to get this woman, and after they get her, then all of a sudden they just want to be couch potato. This is my woman now. And then, you want to lay on the couch and she want to go back to the club where y'all were hanging out there. Oh, but yeah, and you can't be in the club. Hang in the club, go get your man in the club and then say, I ain't going to go to the club no more, I'm going back to the house of the Lord. Something finna happen. Let's go. We have a lot to be thankful for. So our ability for growth. So if you go through a bad relationship, one lady, she was going through divorce. She said, I can't make it. I said, what's wrong? I said, I'm going through divorce. I said, well, why can't you make it? God put more than one fish in the sea. She said, well, I'm still having a problem with my ex. I said, what do you mean? Well, he still live with me. Whoa, wait a minute. If you divorce, and I know divorce is not your choice, but if you divorce somebody, they ain't got to still live with you. Some people can't afford the divorce. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Some people are really out of the marriage already. They just can't afford the divorce. It just costs too much. So divorce is a financial investment as well to get your freedom, But here's what I can encourage people to do. If you're single, don't shack up.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Don't have sex outside of marriage, because once you do, you destroy something that's called the trust factor. Because in the back of a man's head, if you do it with me, you'll do it with another man.
That's right.
That's why the Bible says, for all you Bible thumpers out there, the Bible says marriage is honorable in all, and the bed is undefiled.
That's right.
So that means if as long as you're honorable and you stay in around marriage, then your bed is undefiled. But you can't be sleeping with a man talking about, I'm praying over this relationship. I mean, what kind of this fun? Then go to church and halfway be in the spirit? That's the spirit of iniquity working.
Yes.
And I know that's tight.
Yeah.
Pick up that telephone. I got a few minutes. 972-988-1040. And some people just listening and taking it in like, where did this crazy man come from? The Bible said, how can he hear without a preacher? And how can he preach except he be sent? And so then in those genres, I tell women all the time, listen, don't just get in a relationship with a man and settle for something, because you're going to come back later on and say, I'd like to have a little bit more. Well, that's almost like trying to stop and going 80 miles an hour on the tollway and stop all of a sudden. You're going to break somebody's neck, probably yours, because he's happy. Because yeah, I understand the dog got a license, the cat got a license, software got a license, he got a driver's license, and the cow ain't got no license. Just incontent because you're being milked all day long. You're being milked, he get buttermilk, he get cream, come on. The milk is so good, he get an ice cream sandwich. and you being milked, and somebody said, well, you calling me cow? No, I'm just saying, I'm giving you an analogy. You've been milked, and you ain't getting nothing. Don't feed you nothing. Because we have to make sure that we make straight paths for our feet. And what we cannot do is get relationships that are not of God and make them be God. And I have people all the time, they go get somebody and bring it back saying, this is what the Lord gave me. Well, no, if he didn't give it to you, then it ain't yours. And sometimes most what people saying is, have you ever seen somebody go in your house, pull something out and say, look, this is mine, look what the Lord gave me. And you be like, that looks just like mine. Just like mine. What happens is when you give yourself away intimately to someone that you love, that's one thing. You can always feel good about yourself. But when you give away something intimate to someone who devalues it, now you feel devalued. And if you keep doing that, after a while, you don't put no value on yourself. And then eventually you start to think that is the value. But I believe that your spirit and your smile and your love and your caring are the things that men need the most. So most men ain't really after sex, they're after adoration. Watch this. A man wants a fast and expensive car. Why? So he can drive a fast car? No. So he can get some adoration.
That's right.
A man wants to just have sex all the time. Yeah, baby, so you can tell him that you is Big Daddy. Are you following? Men want adoration, and I think that men are seeking adoration with no commitment, and that's what we're talking about, and I certainly appreciate that. We're winding down our time. Looks like our time goes so fast, and we're almost out of here, but this has been Dr. Carl Robinson. You've been listening to the Alternative Touch radio broadcast. You can go to our website at www.alternativetouch.
So those words that my father told me said you gotta believe, keep God first, and you'll go far.